Dear one, if your heart feels locked in an old story, you are not alone. Some memories can feel like iron bars. Some words, said to you or said by you, can echo for years, as if your mind is a hallway where the same door keeps slamming shut. And I want you to know something right away. You are not weak because you still feel it. You are not behind because it still hurts. When something matters, when love was involved, when trust was broken, when you were frightened, when you were disappointed, the heart does not simply snap its fingers and forget. The heart is tender. The heart remembers. And that is not a flaw. That is proof you are human. But, sweetheart, there is a difference between remembering and living in a prison. So many of us think forgiveness is a kind of surrender. We fear that if we forgive, we are saying what happened was okay. We fear that if we release, we are erasing our own experience. And some of us fear that if we forgive ourselves, we are letting ourselves off the hook, as if self-forgiveness is the same as pretending we never made mistakes. Let me offer you a gentler truth. Forgiveness is not approval. Forgiveness is not pretending. Forgiveness is not inviting harm back into your life. Forgiveness is a doorway you open from the inside so your own soul can breathe again. And as we spend this time together, I invite you to be very kind with yourself. We are not trying to force anything. We are not trying to get it right. We are simply exploring what freedom feels like in your body, in your thoughts, and in your heart. If you are carrying resentment, guilt, shame, or grief, you may discover that forgiveness is the key you have been holding all along, not a sharp key, not a harsh key. A key made of soft metal, shaped slowly by small choices day by day. Take a gentle breath with me now, and let's begin. I have learned over and over again that the word forgiveness can feel heavy, especially when the wound is deep. So let's lighten it with understanding. Forgiveness does not mean what happened was acceptable. It does not mean it didn't matter. It does not mean you have to be close to someone who hurt you. And it does not mean you must forget. Forgiveness means you are choosing not to carry the poison any longer. Because, dear one, resentment is like swallowing a bitter medicine every day and hoping someone else gets sick. It is exhausting. It steals your sleep. It tightens your jaw. It makes your chest feel small. It makes the world look harder than it has to be. And I know, sometimes anger feels like protection. Sometimes anger feels like the only proof you have that what happened was wrong. Sometimes anger is the blanket you pull up to your chin because underneath it is grief, and grief feels too big to touch. So I am not here to scold your anger. I am here to love you through it. Your feelings are not the enemy. Your feelings are messengers. They show you where you have been hurt, where you need compassion, where you need safety, where you need a boundary, where you need to grieve. And at the same time, you deserve to be free. You deserve to wake up and feel light again. You deserve to laugh without that old ache in the background. You deserve to walk through your day without dragging chains behind you. So let's separate two things very clearly: forgiveness and boundaries. Boundaries are how you protect yourself in the present. Forgiveness is how you release yourself from the past. You can have strong boundaries and a forgiving heart. You can say no and still choose peace. You can keep a distance and still free yourself inside. Now, here's what I've come to understand. Most prisons are built slowly, not in a single moment. They are built by repetition. A thought returns, a scene replays, a sentence repeats, and each time it's as if we place another brick. Maybe your brick sounds like, "I can't believe they did that," or "I should have known," or "I'll never trust again," or "I ruined everything," or "If I forgive, I'm weak." Or, I don't deserve to be happy after what I did. Sweetheart, do you hear it? Those are prison sentences, not legal ones, inner ones. And the mind is so obedient. It hears your repeated words and it builds a room around them. It builds a cell around them. So today, we begin a different kind of repetition. A repetition that softens the walls. A repetition that creates space. I want you to try a gentle phrase with me, just once, to see how it feels. I am willing to begin again. Not forcing, not pretending, just willing. And if that feels like too much, you can soften it even more. I am willing to consider the possibility of peace. That's it. A small opening, a crack of light under the door. Take another breath. Let your shoulders drop and let yourself be exactly where you are. There is a simple image I love when I think about forgiveness. Imagine your mind is a hallway with many doors. Some doors are bright and open, joy, creativity, love, and some doors are locked, heavy locks, rusty locks, and on each locked door there is a label. One door says betrayal. Another says humiliation. Another says regret. Another says shame. Another says what I should have said. Another says what they should have done. Another says the day everything changed. And you, dear one, have been walking this hallway for a long time, touching the same handle, feeling it won't turn and thinking, I am trapped. But what if the door that leads to freedom is not at the end of the hallway? What if it is right beside you? What if the door says willingness? I have discovered that willingness is powerful. It is gentle, but it is strong. It does not demand. It does not push. It simply says, I am open to a new experience. So many people think forgiveness is something you do for someone else. But I want you to feel this deeply. Forgiveness is something you do for you. It is for your nervous system. It is for your sleep. It is for your breath. It is for your future. It is for your heart. Forgiveness says, I refuse to keep living the same day. Now let's be honest. Sometimes we hold on because we want justice. We want acknowledgement. We want an apology. We want the other person to understand what they did. And it is natural to want that. It is human. But the difficult truth is that we cannot control whether someone else grows. We cannot control whether they become accountable. We cannot control whether they say the words we long to hear. And if we attach our freedom to their behavior, we remain in the cell. So I invite you to consider this. Forgiveness is choosing to release your dependence on another person's awakening. It is saying, even if you never understand, I choose to heal. That is not weakness. That is sovereignty. Now, I want to share something tender. Sometimes the person we cannot forgive is not them. Sometimes it is ourselves. We replay the moment we stayed. We replay the moment we didn't speak up. We replay the moment we trusted. We replay the mistake. We replay the choice. And we punish ourselves in the name of learning. But punishment is not the same as wisdom. Punishment keeps you small. Wisdom makes you kinder. So let's begin to practice a new inner voice, one that sounds like love. Try this softly in your mind or out loud. I did the best I could with what I knew then. And if your mind argues, that's okay. Minds argue. That's what minds do. You don't have to win the argument. You just have to keep choosing gentleness. One more time. I did the best I could with what I knew then. Now breathe. Let that land, even if it lands like a feather. Feathers still change the air. And here is another layer to this, sweetheart. Sometimes we think we are holding someone else in a prison with our anger, but the truth is, the bars are around us. When you cannot forgive, you may notice that you keep carrying emotional contraband into the cell. Old letters, old screenshots, old conversations, imagined speeches, unsent words. And every time you bring those things in, you tell your mind, we must stay here. It's not over. But I invite you to ask yourself a very loving question. Is staying in this pain helping me? Not, is it justified? It may be justified. Not, are my feelings real? They are real. But is it helping you now, and does it nourish you? Does it protect you? Does it bring you peace? Because if the answer is no, then forgiveness becomes a form of self-care. Now, some people worry that if they forgive, they will become naive. They think, if I let go, I'll be hurt again. Sweetheart, forgiveness does not erase your intelligence. Forgiveness does not erase your discernment. Forgiveness does not erase your memory. Forgiveness simply removes the hook. You can remember the lesson without bleeding every time you think of it. That's what freedom feels like. It is like touching a scar and realizing it no longer stings. The memory is there, but your life is not controlled by it. I've learned that healing often arrives in layers. First, we stop blaming ourselves for being hurt. Then we stop blaming ourselves for still being hurt. Then we begin to gently release the story. So I want to give you a simple practice, not dramatic, not complicated, simple. Tonight, or whenever you have a quiet moment, take a piece of paper. At the top, write the name of the person you cannot forgive, or write your own name if that is the tender place. Then write this sentence: I am willing to release you from my inner prison. And underneath, write whatever is true for you without censoring. Anger, sadness, disappointment, confusion, let it all come out. And then, when you're done, place your hand on your heart and say, I release myself now. Not because what happened was okay, not because you have forgotten, but because you are choosing life. If you like, you can tear up the paper afterward, or place it in an envelope, or simply fold it and put it away. The ritual is not magic. The intention is. The intention says, I am shifting. And you may notice over time that the mind replays less. The body softens more. The breath returns. That is how the door opens, from the inside. Now let me share something beautiful I discovered. Forgiveness often begins with understanding, not excusing, understanding. When we understand that people act from their own pain, their own fear, their own conditioning, it can loosen the grip. This does not make their behavior right. It simply makes it less personal. Sweetheart, so much of what people do is not about you. It is about their own inner world. And when we make it personal, we carry it like a heavy bag, as if their choices are proof we are not worthy. But you are worthy. You were worthy before they hurt you. You were worthy while they hurt you. And you are worthy now. So here is an affirmation I want to weave into your day like a warm scarf around your shoulders. My worth is untouched. Let that be true. My worth is untouched, because forgiveness becomes easier when you are no longer trying to get your worth back from someone else. Now I want to speak very gently about reconciliation. Many people confuse forgiveness with returning to the same situation, and that is not what I am teaching. If a relationship is unsafe, forgiveness does not require you to go back. If a person continues harmful behavior, forgiveness does not require you to tolerate it. If your body tightens around someone, if you feel fear, if you feel small, listen. Forgiveness can happen in your heart without reopening a door that should remain closed. Sometimes the most loving boundary is distance. Sometimes the most healing choice is, I release you, and I release the need to be near you. That is a mature kind of love. Love for yourself. Now let's bring this to daily life. Imagine you are washing dishes and suddenly an old memory appears. A voice in your head says, how could they? Or how could I? Instead of going down the hallway to that locked door again, pause, breathe, and say gently, that was then, this is now. Then add, I choose freedom. Even if you have to say it 10 times, even if you feel nothing at first, practice is how we teach the mind a new home, because your mind wants a home. And sweetheart, you are building it. There is a garden image I return to again and again. Imagine your inner world as soil, rich soil, tender soil. Everything you think and feel is like a seed. If you keep watering resentment, it grows. It grows into thorny vines that wrap around your joy. If you keep watering guilt, it grows into heavy roots that pull you down. But when you begin to water forgiveness, something else grows. Space. Forgiveness grows like a clear path through the garden where you can walk again without scratching your skin on old thorns. And the first water is compassion. Compassion for yourself. Compassion for your younger self. Compassion for the parts of you that didn't know. Compassion for the parts of you that were scared. Compassion for the parts of you that stayed too long or left too soon. I want you to picture your younger self for a moment, not as a problem, not as someone to judge, just as a person trying to survive, trying to belong, trying to be loved. Can you see them? Now say softly, I'm here now, and then I will not abandon you. So many of us hold resentment because it feels like loyalty to our pain. We think, if I stop being angry, it means it didn't matter. But your pain already mattered. It does not require ongoing suffering to be valid. You can honor the past and still choose peace. That is an important sentence, sweetheart. I can honor the past and still choose peace. Let that be your truth. Now for a practical practice that is very gentle, I call it the release breath. When a painful thought arises, inhale and silently say, I acknowledge. Exhale and silently say, I release. Inhale, I acknowledge. Exhale, I release. Do it 3 times and notice your body. Notice your jaw. Notice your belly. Notice your shoulders. This practice is not about erasing the memory. It is about removing the hook. It is about reminding your nervous system we are safe right now. And if you need more support than a spiritual practice can provide, please honor that. This kind of inner work can be deeply healing, and it can also be beautifully supported by professional care. You don't have to do it alone. You never have to do it alone. Now breathe again. Let forgiveness be a friend, not a demand. Now there is another layer to forgiveness that many people miss. Forgiveness is also about time. We sometimes think we should forgive all at once, like flipping a light switch. But often forgiveness is a sunrise. It comes gradually, slowly, softly. And then one day you realize the room is brighter. So if you try to forgive and you still feel anger tomorrow, that does not mean you failed. It means you are human. It means you are in a process, and I want you to be so kind with the process. Sometimes forgiveness happens in waves. You feel peace for a week, then a memory returns, and you feel tight again. That is not going backward. That is another layer coming up to be released. You are not broken, you are unfolding. Now let's talk about self-forgiveness more directly, because I have seen it transform lives. Self-forgiveness does not mean you excuse harmful choices. It means you choose to learn without punishing yourself forever. When you punish yourself endlessly, you stay stuck in the identity of the one who did wrong. But when you forgive yourself, you become the one who learned, grew, and chose love. And that identity is freeing. So here is a mirror practice, if you are willing. Stand in front of a mirror. Look into your own eyes as if you are looking at a dear friend who needs tenderness, and say slowly, "I forgive you." You might cry, that's okay. You might laugh nervously, that's okay. You might feel nothing, that's okay. Then say, "I am learning. I am growing. I am still worthy of love." Because you are. And if your mind says, "But what about what I did?" then answer gently, "I am not denying it. I am choosing to heal." You can make amends where you can. You can apologize where it is appropriate. You can change your behavior now, and you can still forgive yourself. Because living in self-hatred does not help anyone. It only creates more pain. Forgiveness is how we stop passing pain forward. And sweetheart, you have the power to stop it. Breathe. Feel the courage in you. Even willingness is courage. Let's speak about the prison itself, because sometimes the prison is not just anger. Sometimes it is shame. Shame says, "I am bad." Guilt says, "I did something I regret." Guilt can be a teacher. Shame is a cage. And many people confuse the two. If you have been carrying shame, I want you to hear my voice very clearly. There is nothing wrong with you at your core. There may be choices you would do differently now. There may be words you would not say again. There may be moments you would rewrite if you could. And still, your core is love. Your core is life. Your core is worthy. So I invite you to release shame like a coat that no longer fits. It once kept you warm in a strange way because it made you feel you had control. If I blame myself enough, I'll never make a mistake again. But dear one, perfection is not the goal. Love is the goal. So when shame rises, place your hand on your heart and say, "I am willing to see myself with compassion." Again, I am willing to see myself with compassion. And here is an anchor phrase I want to return to throughout our time together, because it is a key. The door opens from the inside. The door opens from the inside when you stop waiting for someone else to validate your pain. The door opens from the inside when you stop trying to rewrite the past. The door opens from the inside when you choose to release the story as your identity. You are not what happened to you. You are not what someone did to you. You are not your worst day. You are not your biggest mistake. You are the awareness that is healing. You are the heart that is learning. You are the soul that is growing. Now, a very practical exercise for shame. Write down the sentence you most often say against yourself, the harsh one, the one you wouldn't say to a child. Maybe it is, "I ruin everything." Maybe it is, "I'm not enough." Maybe it is, "I don't deserve love." Write it down. Then look at it and say, "This is an old belief, not a fact." Then write a new sentence beneath it, a kinder one. "I am learning to trust myself. I am worthy of love as I grow. I can begin again." Then every time the old sentence appears, you respond with the new one. This is how you gently rewire your inner home. This is how you loosen the locks. This is how you walk out of the prison one step at a time. Now let's talk about forgiveness in relationships, because that is often where the deepest pain lives. Sometimes we hold on because we want the other person to feel what we felt. We want them to understand the depth of it. We want them to carry some of the weight. And I understand that, truly. But when you hold on tightly, you tie yourself to them energetically. It is like you are holding one end of a rope and they are holding the other end, even if they are not thinking about you at all. Your heart is still attached. Forgiveness cuts the rope, not with violence, with love. It says, I release you from being responsible for my peace. And that is one of the most liberating choices you can make. Now, if someone owes you an apology, you may never receive it, but you can give yourself what you needed. You can say to yourself, I believe you. It makes sense that you hurt. What happened mattered. You deserved better. I'm here now. These sentences are medicine, and they help because they bring you back to the truth. The person who can hold you now is you, and life and love. Now, I want to be very clear. Forgiveness does not mean you deny what happened. If you were harmed, it matters. If you were betrayed, it matters. If you were dismissed, it matters. Forgiveness simply means you are refusing to make your future pay for the past. And there is a difference. Your future deserves tenderness. Your future deserves your energy. Your future deserves your presence. So here is a gentle visualization, if you are willing. Close your eyes for a moment, if it is safe for you. Imagine yourself standing in that hallway of doors. You see the door labeled with the pain you've carried. You don't have to go inside. You just stand near it. Now imagine in your hand a small key made of soft metal, shaped by your willingness, and you place it into the lock, and you turn it, and you hear a click. You open the door only a crack. A thin line of light appears. You don't rush. You don't force. You just notice the light. Now you whisper, the door opens from the inside. And you take one step back, because you are not entering the pain again. You are leaving it. You are choosing the light. You can open doors without walking into old rooms. You can release without reliving. That is a mature kind of healing. Breathe. Let your body know it can soften. Let your heart know it is safe to heal. Now, sweetheart, what does forgiveness look like on the hard days? Because there will be days when something triggers you, a song, a smell, a place, a date, a random comment, and suddenly the prison seems to reappear. On those days, I want you to do something simple. Name what is happening. Say, this is a memory. Not this is my life right now. Not this is who I am. Just this is a memory. Then say, I am in the present. Then choose one action that supports the present. Drink water. Step outside. Touch a tree. Put your feet on the floor. Call a friend. Breathe slowly. Forgiveness is not only a thought, it is also a nervous system choice. It is choosing to soothe yourself instead of re-wounding yourself. And I know some people have carried pain for a long time. Some have carried it since childhood. Some have carried it through generations. If that is you, please hear me. You are not late. You are brave. You are here. And that is the beginning. Sometimes forgiveness begins with something very small. I am willing to stop hurting myself with this story. That is a sacred sentence. Say it softly. I am willing to stop hurting myself with this story. Now let's add another truth. Forgiveness does not mean you don't seek justice or safety where appropriate. It means you seek those things without letting hatred live inside you. You can take practical steps, legal steps, relational steps, protective steps, and still choose inner freedom. Inner freedom is your right. Now, I want to share a little wisdom I have learned. When we forgive, we often find our energy returning. We may notice we think more clearly. We may notice we have more patience. We may notice we sleep better. We may notice we smile more easily, not because we forced ourselves to be positive, but because we stopped carrying the weight. And you may discover that when your energy returns, your life begins to open. You see options you didn't see. You take steps you didn't think you could take. You create a future you couldn't imagine when you were locked inside the past. This is not magic. It is liberation. This is what happens when the soul has space to move. Now breathe again, dear one. Let's choose one gentle affirmation to hold in your day. I release myself now. Not someday, not when they change, not when the past becomes different. Now, I release myself now. Let that be your key. Let that be your freedom. And as we come toward a close, I want you to feel the deeper truth beneath all of this. You were never meant to live in a prison. You were meant to live in a home inside yourself, warm, safe, loving. And every time you choose forgiveness, you are building that home, brick by brick, yes. But these are not prison bricks. These are home bricks. Compassion, willingness, gentleness, truth, boundaries, presence, and perhaps the most important one, love. Love for your heart, love for your journey, love for the part of you that survived. So let's gather everything we've explored. Forgiveness is not approval. Forgiveness is freedom. Forgiveness is a practice. Forgiveness is for you. And self-forgiveness. Self-forgiveness is often the hidden doorway that changes everything. Because when you forgive yourself, you stop attacking yourself. And when you stop attacking yourself, you have energy to live, you have energy to love, and you have energy to create. And I want that for you. So here is a final practice you can do today, right now. Place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Feel your breath and say slowly with tenderness, I am willing to forgive. I am willing to release. I am willing to be free. Pause. Then, I choose peace in my heart. I choose peace in my mind. I choose peace in my life. Pause. And then, the sweetest one, I forgive myself. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. If tears come, let them come. Tears are cleansing. Tears are water that helps the garden grow. And if resistance comes, let it be there too. Resistance is just fear asking for reassurance. So reassure it. Say, it's safe for me to heal. Again, it's safe for me to heal. Because the door opens from the inside. The door opens from the inside when you choose to stop reliving. The door opens from the inside when you choose to stop punishing. The door opens from the inside when you choose love again and again. And sweetheart, you can. You truly can. May you be gentle with yourself today. May you give your heart the kindness it has always deserved. May you walk out of the prison with your head high and your soul soft. And when the old story tries to call you back, you can smile tenderly and say, that was then. This is now. I release myself. I am sending you so much love, and I believe in your freedom.